thank you. Can sit down. So next, I would like to call upon जिनका कोई brief required नहीं है actually because he has a vast experience, but still he is a managing director of Dayanand Consultancy Services Private Limited, Mr. Dayanand Mangaonkar. Can we please have a round of applause? 25 plus years of experience in employment law advisory services, conducting audit under law labor, handling labor law compliances, setting up of HR department of small and medium-sized companies, framing of various HR policies such as travel policy, tour policy, leave policy, POSH policy, code of conduct policy. And his clientele base is around 450 plus clients across India. And the services offered are end-to-end compliance management services, imparting training to industries and its manager, audit and due diligence under labor laws, advisory services under employment law, advising clients under POSH Act. And his achievements are, one of the achievement is felicitated by EPILPA with National Compliance Award. And the honorary services are advisor to Employers Federation of India, which is national body of employers. So please share your thoughts with us.
Thank you, Deepika. In fact, over a period of time, because I am at such an age, I tend to forget so many things. Thanks, Deepika, for reminding me what I used to do earlier. No doubt I am continuing to do the same thing in future also, basically, and presently also. Well, thanks once again, Deepika, for engaging yourself for those 5 minutes, wherein during these 5 minutes, I couldn't set up my laptop as well as the screen for all of you. The topic which I was going to commence with was the HR policy. I was going to take a discussion on the HR policy, but because of the time constraints, this I will be taking. Am I audible to all of you? Thank you. I can see in between some gap. I am not conducting any lectures in the college, and you are not the students, my associates. Those who are bank benchers, please come forward. So I will be able to see everybody's face clearly. Thank you. Yeah. So I decided, since now 30 minutes time are there and I know that you all are eagerly waiting for the lunch time delicacies to enjoy yourself. So I'll cover up my session maximum in 30 to 35 minutes, and thereafter I'll speak at a length for at least for around 45 to 1 hour post lunch on the HR policy. The topic which I have chosen today to discuss with you is a POSH, prevention of sexual harassment. Because you all must have so far listened or heard about this sexual harassment of women at workplace, the Act 2013, right? It is an integral part of this HR policy, but I thought it appropriate to discuss it separately rather than taking it through the cursory remarks as far as the HR policy is concerned. So I isolated it from the HR policy and thought that I'll take the separate session for this. So I welcome all of you to this seminar on the topic sexual harassment of women at workplace. Friends, in the 2013, the central government thought it appropriate to enact this particular act. Now, what was the necessity basically? You all must be knowing the Nirbhaya case, the infamous Nirbhaya case which happened in New Delhi. One girl, poor girl, coming from the her office during the night shift. She was brutally raped in the bus, and thereafter the then government decided so hurriedly to take a call on this. There are certain flaws in this particular act because incidentally or unfortunately, this act protects only women. The name itself says sexual harassment of women at workplace, right? Now, this work woman is very important. Many people think that is it applicable only to the woman? Is it applicable only to the employee? Or many employers also say that we do not have any female employees at our workplace. So, whether this act is applicable to or no, this also question arises in the minds of many employers, company entrepreneurs. So these and many more questions I am going to address in the today's session. So as I told you that when the Indian Penal Code is there, Indian Penal Code which necessarily deals with the criminal omissions, criminal acts, etc. Right? When that act was there, then why government thought it appropriate to enact this particular act? Sexual harassment. As you know that this sexual harassment, when it takes place, there is no evidence. Support is not there. Witnesses are lack because such type of incidences with the woman, whether it is at workplace, maybe in the train or at the public places, it happens when there is no evidence, witnesses are not there. So for the victim or the aggrieved woman, they find it very difficult to prove that really the harassment has caused to her or no. So there are 2 to 3 questions are there. Who is the aggrieved woman? What is sexual harassment? Then who is the respondent? Right? the other person against which the complainant is there. Who is responsible then? As an employer, who's responsible? So these are 4 to 5 various definitions also we'll be discussing in today's webinar. So as I told you that the government thought it appropriate to enact this act because IPC itself is the IPC deals with the police station basically and the criminal cases. So when such type of any woman is agreed by because of such type of harassment, when there is no evidence, witnesses are not there, lodging the complaint, the IPC mainly is based on the evidence law. And such cases, the evidence is not there. So for agreed woman, it is very, she has already undergone a lot of stress because of this particular harassment caused to her, mental stress, physical stress, and so many other things are also there. So how to lodge the complaint, and therefore government thought it appropriate to create some mechanism at the workplace itself rather than asking the agreed woman to go to the police station. So that was the whole preamble or the objective of the government to enact this particular act to make the life of agreed woman easy and to increase the brand name, because because of such type of harassments, when they come to now, the social media is so popular and it is spreading like anything. Whenever such incidences takes place, rather this such type of agreed woman, rather than going to police station or lodging, even they're discussing about this particular topic with their relatives, husband, spouses, or the parents, they post it on the social media. And because of the social media, the name of the company, the brand name of the company gets spoiled, and therefore for avoiding such type of things, this is the beautiful and the powerful tool given in the hands of agreed woman to the woman at the workplace, and this is the whole objective that the government has formed it. Prior to that, prior to enactment of this act, there was a Vishaka guidelines were there. I don't know how many of you might be knowing. Senior people might be knowing what are those Vishaka guidelines. Actually, Vishaka guidelines were laid down by the Supreme Court in the year 1983. There was one lady in Rajasthan who used to work in the Gram Panchayat area, and she was against the child marriage. She was campaigning against the child marriage. And this north part of India, Rajasthan, what kind of treatment a woman get, and especially the remote areas like the village area, etc. That woman was brutally raped in front of husband by around more than 52 people. And that matter was prolonging and nobody came forward to support her. This matter dragged on for years together, almost for more than 20 years this matter was pending in the Supreme Court. Right? So that time, Supreme Court thought it appropriate to issue the guidelines, and also they requested government to come out with some enactment, legislation or the act. Government did not act on that. You know how our politicians behave in the parliament. Their one face before the public is different, one face, another face in the parliament is different. So this act was not enacted. So Supreme Court issued the guidelines, and these guidelines were named as a Vishaka. Vishaka is not the name of any woman who was raped during that, against whom this particular case, when she has filed this particular case was there. The Vishaka name was given by the NGOs. Various NGOs came together and they supported that woman, and finally she won her case after 25 years. You can go to the Google and look for this particular Vishaka guideline. However, Vishaka guidelines did not have any statutory force, and therefore many companies till the year 2013 they were not enforcing it. अरे हमको ये applicable है क्या? क्यों करें हम लोग? हमारे पास woman नहीं है. So we used to tell them as a good governance practice, yes, you have to do it. लेकिन लीगली हम लोग नहीं बोल सकते थे अगर आप नहीं करेंगे तो क्या होगा, क्योंकि there were guidelines in the form and not a statutory in force. And therefore, when in the year 2013, government, when they thought that these are the lacunas in the system, they should come out with the enactment. And when this Sushma Swaraj was the defense minister, she asked most of the MPs to support for this enactment, and this enactment in both the houses of parliament, Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha, it was passed through, and in the year 22nd April 2013, this finally act was enacted. This is the government gazette of that. Right? So object of the act is what? To ensure the safe working space for the woman and to create the sense of security at workplace as far as women are concerned. This is the preamble, this is the main object of this particular act. This act is applicable to whole of India, including all government department, etc. Then it is applicable to item number 3, please see, visiting women, sales girls, female candidates coming for an interview at workplace. They all are covered under this act. So many employers says, no, we do not have any female employees working in our company. So whether this act is applicable or no. Act clearly says, sexual harassment of women at workplace. Whoever the woman comes, whether she is on contract basis, housekeeping के लिए आ रही है, candidates come, female candidates come for the interview. They are also women basically. They are girls, women. So there also they can take a protection as far as this particular act is concerned, wherever the harassment takes place to them. कोई सेल्स गर्ल आ रही है कोई कंपनी में काउंटर के ऊपर, उसके साथ अगर कोई इंसिडेंस होता है, she is also can take a shelter or protection under this particular act. This act also says the PPR, Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace, PPR, Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act 2013. So what is this PPR? The first P stands for the prevention, second P stands for the prohibition, and R stands for the redressal. So prevention, what it talks about, it is an entire whole responsibility of the employer to keep from happening incidences, to prevent from happening the incidences of sexual harassment of women. That is to prevent. To stop or hinder sexual harassment of women, especially by advanced planning, etc., by conducting the seminar, and therefore the management of the JRK decided, since you all are gathering, it was not possible to reach to individual employee and tell them what are your rights, what are the do's for female employees, what are the don'ts for the male employees. So this is the platform. You must be thinking that अरे सुबह से हम लोग कुछ एजुकेशन ही दे रहे हैं, HR का इंफॉर्मेशन दे रहे हैं, कुछ एंटरटेनमेंट नहीं हो रहा है. But Deepika, fill that gap for 5 minutes. No doubt, I know that post lunch you will be waiting for these prizes are waiting for all of you. Around 14 to 15 people we are going to felicitate, etc. But JRK management thought it appropriate, since you all are gathering over here, why not to tell you, make you aware of this particular enactment, provisions, and what are your rights under this particular act. To prohibit the sexual harassment of women by force, by law, by authority, and then redressal. In spite of taking a measures of prevention and prohibition, if such type of incidences happen at the workplace, then there is a mechanism provided under this act for redressing the issues. So what are those mechanisms? How to do that? Very cursory form I will take you, because time is very short. I have to finish this presentation by before 1 o'clock. As I told you, there are 4 to 5 definitions, words I will be frequently using. One is the aggrieved woman. So let us understand what is aggrieved woman. Aggrieved woman is nothing but the victim. All women are visiting any workplace, whether in the capacity of regular, temporary, ad hoc or daily wager basis, is protected under this particular act. So aggrieved woman, whether she is a working, non-working, but found at the workplace, visiting a workplace, students, many companies they engage the apprentices or the students, NAPS, etc. So they are not necessarily the employees, but students. Any woman at the workplace, they will be considered as a woman in the context of this particular act. So even regular, temporary, ad hoc, daily wager, then they are meant for the remuneration or not remuneration, directly, indirectly. Then they are engaged on contract basis through agency, etc. And for your academic purpose, even the domestic workers, if you are engaging any female employee or woman for cooking, maid, etc. at your home, the act is applicable. Act is applicable. You might say that who is the employer in that case? Yes, we will discuss about that. What is workplace? That also we need to understand. So this act is applicable to government organization. Even the government organization, this act is applicable. All companies, corporations, nursing home, hospitals, NGOs, that is a trust, agricultural activity, farms, your own house, as I told you, education institutions, colleges, schools, sports facilities, hospital. About sports facility, very recently you must have seen on the television the problem with the wrestlers, female wrestlers from the Haryana, what they suffered. Housing society also, this particular act is applicable, and all service providers. Extended, when we talk about the workplace, the question comes, what is extended workplace? Many companies, they organize the parties. Whenever some functions are there, achieving the targets are there, they throw some parties. So at hotel, if the program is at some function is organized by the company at hotel, and at hotel such type of incident take place, then the question arises in the mind of employer or the respondent, the person who has committed this offense of sexual harassment. He will say, "Arey, मैंने तो ये workplace में कहा, ये तो hotel है और किसी का." No. When any company, when any activity is organized by the employer, which is related to your company activity, because some target is achieved, so they have decided to throw or celebrate at the some hotel, etc., or the resort. So such type of places are known as extended workplace. And extended workplace, if any case or if any matter of harassment takes place, yes, it is very well falls under this act, and any aggrieved woman, she can take a shelter, she can take a protection, she can seek a justice under this particular act. Same way, many companies organize the transport facilities for their for their entire all employees. And company operated transport facility, if incident take place, yes, that is also considered as a extended workplace. Many times what happens, the sales manager is there, his sales manager, some subordinate is there, sales executive or sales girl is there, they are traveling together, and if incident take place, yes, still it is considered as a extended workplace. So extended workplace or the workplace is not restricted or confined to your own establishment, factory or your own workplace. It is extended, means it can happen in the train, traveling time, buses or the places, resort or the hotel, etc. Right? Respondent. Respondent is a person against whom, the definition is very simple. Respondent is a person against whom this particular complaint lies or who has indulged in the matter of harassment. Employer. In relation to any department, organization, undertaking. So, employer is basically, in case of a government department, head of the department. Because in government department, there is no employer as such. So, head of that particular department will be considered as an employer in the context of this particular act. Private workplace, the person responsible for management, supervision, control. So, either managing director or the chief executive officer or CHRO or CFO, etc. They will be responsible, they will be considered as an employer. Dwelling house, as I told you, dwelling house means आपका रिहायशी मकान जहां आप रहते हो. So dwelling house, in the context of dwelling house, the owner of that premises will be considered as an employer. So we have been talking about this respondent, we discussed about this aggrieved woman, then employer we saw the workplace also. Now what is this sexual harassment all about? So sexual harassment, the definition sexual harassment is what is important is written in the green words, any unwelcome sexual advance or conduct on the job that creates an intimidating, hostile or offensive working environment, and any conduct of the sexual nature that makes an employee uncomfortable has the potential to be sexual harassment. So this is nothing but a sexual, any act which is unwelcoming, which has been making that woman uncomfortable. So question might arise in the minds of the gentleman, or rather so-called gentleman, then what is not sexual harassment? तो यहाँ आएगा, मैं बताता हूँ आपको कि टचिंग है नहीं, नॉन टचिंग वगैरह क्या है उसमें, whether it falls under this category of क्या वो types of, there are various types of sexual harassment. So initially what we saw, whether unwelcoming and making that woman uncomfortable, any act and omission on the part of that respondent will be considered as a sexual harassment. There are various types of sexual harassments are there, verbal and written. So we'll discuss what is verbal and written. Physical क्या है, non-verbal क्या है, and visual क्या है. So making verbal and written, making inappropriate jokes. So this you all must remember that, because क्या कभी कभी मालूम नहीं है, ignorance of law is no excuse. कानून मालूम नहीं है ऐसा बोल के आप नहीं बोल सकते हो. किसी को मैसेज भेज दिया व्हाट्सएप के ऊपर, अरे इसमें क्या, मैंने तो मैसेज भेज दिया, सब जन भेज देते हैं. Does it really fall under this category? Yes, it falls under the category making inappropriate jokes, remarks, teasing or asking sexually related questions, asking someone at workplace to go out with you, using abusive language and offensive name calling, commenting negatively about a person's clothing, body or personal behavior, making inappropriate sounds such as kissing sounds, whistling or smacking lips, sending someone sexual emails or letters, or even sending such type of images through WhatsApp, they all fall under the category of verbal and written sexual harassment. So please remember, please take a precaution. What is physical sexual harassment? Sexual assault, abuse or rape. No doubt, for the rape or assault or no one particular word is there, I forgot now. If I remember, I'll tell you. Inappropriately touching or grabbing someone, etc., touching someone's breast intentionally, using intimidating gestures, deliberately brushing or rubbing your body against someone, blocking another employee's movements, kissing or hugging someone inappropriately, unwelcome touching of another person's hair, clothes or body is a physical. This falls under the category of physical nature of sexual harassment. Non-verbal, looking a person up and down, which is known as the elevator eyes. following or stalking someone, using sexually suggestive visuals, making sexual gestures with the hands or through body movements, using facial expressions such as winking, throwing kisses or licking lips. ऐसे कुछ करते हैं ना, फ्लाइंग किस वगैरह बोलते हैं उसको. So non verbal, ये मैंने एग्जाम्पल बताया, मैंने किया नहीं कुछ अभी. So don't misunderstand me. Visual, exposing private parts, sending sexual images or videos to another person, unwelcome gestures toward another person, staring at someone else's body offensively and making the person feel uncomfortable, placing a poster with the information related to sexual behaviors, displaying abusive or inappropriate messages or content from a website, book or magazine or any electronic media. So these are the various type of, but it is not limited again. There can be many other actions and omission also which can fall under the sexual harassment, which is subject to judicial interpretation. But at the outset, when the act was enacted, they have mentioned these are the verbal, written, physical, non-verbal and visual. Question might arise you on this side, right side, then what is not sexual harassment? टचिंग में मैंने भी एक बड़ा लिस्ट दे दिया चार्ट भी, इसको आप इसको हाथ लगाओगे नहीं लगाओगे तो ये सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट हो जाता है. आप बोलोगे कोई लड़की का बर्थडे है और उसको मैंने विश किया, सेकंड किया, तो क्या वो उसको टच किया है मैंने, तो उसको क्या सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट में आएगा? ये क्वेश्चन रहेगा ना आपके माइंड में? नहीं रहेगा. See, complimenting anybody, as far as, because initially I said unwelcoming and uncomfortable. कोई भी एक्शन जो है रिस्पोंडेंट का, वो सामने वाले लड़की को अगर अनवेलकम और डिस्टर्ब करता है, अनकंफर्टेबल करता है, तो दैट कंस्टिट्यूट सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट. आपने हैप्पी बर्थडे करने के लिए सेकंड किया है, बराबर है, तो सेकंड ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा क्या 10 सेकंड होता है, 20 सेकंड होता है, लेकिन आप 1 मिनट के लिए हाथ पकड़ के हिलाते रहोगे तो डेफिनेटली वो हैरेसमेंट हो ही जाएगा ना. इट इज अनकंफर्टेबल एंड अनवेलकमिंग. सो डोंट डू दैट. यू कैन विश, यू कैन कॉम्प्लीमेंट देम, और ओरली ऑल्सो वी कैन डू इट. इसके लिए हमारे प्राइम मिनिस्टर बाहर कभी जाते हैं क्या, सब जन क्या करते हैं, गले मिलते हैं या शेकेंड करते हैं. हमारे मोदी जी नमस्ते करते हैं, सबसे बेस्ट है. कोई हैरेसमेंट का केस डालेगा नहीं उसके ऊपर. क्यूड प्रो क्यू, जैसे मैंने बताया है, व्हाट वी डिस्कस जस्ट नाउ इज नॉट जस्ट लिमिटेड टू दैट. क्यूड प्रो क्यू, दिस फॉर दैट. नॉर्मली ये आता है बॉसेस के तरफ से. पर्सन इन द पोजीशन ऑफ अथॉरिटी, टिपिकली सुपरवाइजर, डिमांड सेक्सुअल फेवर्स एज अ कंडीशन टू गेटिंग कीपिंग अ जॉब बेनिफिट. हाँ, मैं आपको प्रमोशन दे दूंगा, मैं आपको इंक्रीमेंट के लिए रिकमेंड करूंगा, चलो आज हम लोग कुछ ओवरनाइट के लिए बाहर जाते हैं. यस, सो दिस इज नोन एज क्यूड प्रो क्यू, दिस फॉर दैट. बेसिकली मुझे ये दे दो, मैं आपको ये दे देती हूँ, या मैं आपको ये देता हूँ, तुम मुझे ये दे देना. सो दैट फॉल्स अंडर दिस कैटेगरी ऑफ सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट. क्वेश्चन ऑल्सो माइट अराइज, अरे ये सब जो राइट्स है, ये जो एक्ट बनाया हुआ है सिर्फ लड़कियों के लिए बनाया हुआ है. देयर आर मेनी इंसिडेंसेस, इंडिया में नहीं होता रहेगा, बस आई हैव ट्रैवल्ड अ लॉट. बेसिकली बाहर ये काफी होता है कि लड़की लोग भी हरास करते हैं लड़के लोगों को. आपकी मैंने जोर से सुनी, बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली देयर इज नो प्रोविजन अंडर दिस एक्ट टू प्रोटेक्ट ऑल ऑफ यू. अगर कोई हरास करती है, एक अपनी हिंदी मूवी आई थी इसके ऊपर, अक्षय कुमार एंड देन करीना कपूर एंड बिपाशा बसु. हाँ, ऐतराज, यस. तो वैसा अपने कुछ होता नहीं है अपने इधर, उसके लिए कोर्ट में जाना पड़ेगा. एक्ट में ऐसी कोई प्रावधान है नहीं, एक्ट इज नॉट प्रोटेक्टिंग. बट देयर इज वेरी लेटेस्ट, देयर इज अ कलकत्ता हाई कोर्ट का एक जजमेंट आया हुआ है 2021 में, एंड द कोर्ट सेड द डॉक्टर मलाबिका भट्टाचार्य वर्सेस इंटरनल कंप्लेंट कमिटी, विवेकानंद कॉलेज. दिस इंटरनल कमिटी कंप्लेंट, ये डॉक्टर मलाबिका भट्टाचार्य ने केस डाला था. नहीं, दिस केस वाज, आई एम सॉरी, this case was about the same sex, harassment between the same sex. अभी लेस्बियन रिलेशनशिप भी कॉमन हो रही है, गे रिलेशनशिप भी कॉमन हो रही है. अगर इनके बीच में अगर कुछ हो जाता है, काफी वर्क प्लेसेस में भी, इवन गवर्नमेंट इज ऑल्सो प्लानिंग दैट एम्प्लॉयमेंट ऑफ सच रिजर्वेशन कैटेगरी में डालने वाले हैं कि गे लेस्बियन को आप, ट्रांसजेंडर के लिए भी आप जॉब के ऊपर रखना आपको जरूरी रहेगा. सो फार लॉ हैज नॉट कम, बट केरला गवर्नमेंट ने चालू किया है वहाँ लॉ. इवन महाराष्ट्र गवर्नमेंट में भी वेरी सून इट इज गोइंग टू कम, बट दैट इज एट द गवर्नमेंट लेवल. प्राइवेट में अभी तक ये एनफोर्समेंट आई नहीं है. तो ये जो कलकत्ता में इंसिडेंस हुआ था कि दो गे के बीच में हुआ था इंसिडेंस, एंड दैट कंप्लेंट वेंट टू द इंटरनल कमिटी ऑफ द कमिटी, इंटरनल कंप्लेंट कमिटी. तो इंटरनल कंप्लेंट कमिटी ने बोला नहीं, हम लोग ये नहीं ले सकते, आपकी केस इंटरटेन नहीं कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि एक्ट से सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट ऑफ वुमन एट वर्क प्लेस. आप वुमन नहीं हो, गे हो, तो हम लोग गे की नहीं ले सकते हो. तो दिस मैटर वेंट टू द हाई कोर्ट, एंड हाई कोर्ट सेज नो, even though this particular act should be gender biased. Presently, this act is not gender biased. It is only meant for the female at workplace. I'm not saying female employees, woman at workplace basically. But ये हाई कोर्ट का जजमेंट है, तो that is applicable to that particular state. सुप्रीम कोर्ट की जजमेंट होगी तो अक्रॉस इंडिया एप्लीकेबल हो जाएगी. तो प्रेजेंटली दिस जजमेंट इज एप्लीकेबल ओनली इन द स्टेट ऑफ वेस्ट बंगाल. तो अभी हम लोगों ने जो डिस्कस किया वो पिक्चरियल फॉर्म में है. दोज यू डिड नॉट अंडरस्टैंड, मेरा स्पीड जरा वंदे भारत जैसा या राजधानी जैसा है बोलने का, तो आप शायद समझ नहीं पाए रहेंगे. तो ये पिक्चरियल फॉर्म में है. और यू कैन सी ऑन द लेफ्ट साइड टॉप कॉर्नर दैट जेंटलमैन इज नॉट जेंटलमैन, द रिस्पोंडेंट, वी कैन कॉल हिम अ जेंडर, इज ब्लॉकिंग इन द पैसेज. और वो लड़की या वुमन जो है उसके फेस से आपको पता चल रहा है कि शी इज फीलिंग वेरी अनकंफर्टेबल, अनवेलकमिंग गेस्चर है. तो such type of behavior will definitely fall under the category of sexual harassment. You can see on the top row, middle picture, one girl is getting sandwiched between these two the men. एक ने उसके कंधे के ऊपर हाथ रखा है, उसके फेस से पता चल रहा है. थर्ड में भी देख सकते हो बालों से हाथ घुमा रहा है. So these are the things what we discuss. What constitutes sexual harassment is in the pictorial form, right? तो गवर्नमेंट ने इसके लिए क्या किया हुआ है, जैसे मैंने बताया आपको, देयर आर PPRs, प्रिवेंशन, प्रोहिबिशन एंड रिड्रेसल. सो व्हाट इज रिड्रेसल? कि प्रिवेंशन प्रोहिबिशन करके अवेयरनेस वगैरह क्रिएट करके, आज मैंने अवेयरनेस किया हुआ है, इसका मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि कंपनी में या इंसिडेंट्स में, मुझे मालूम है आप में से कोई इस तरह का करेगा नहीं, यू विल नॉट गिव अपॉर्चुनिटी टू योर एम्प्लॉयर टू इनिशिएट द एक्शन अगेंस्ट यू. बट फिर भी अगर होता है तो इट इज अ प्राइमरी एंड फंडामेंटल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ एम्प्लॉयर टू कंस्टिट्यूट इंटरनल कमिटी एट वर्क प्लेस. सो दैट इज अ मैकेनिज्म प्रोवाइडेड टू रिड्रेस. क्योंकि हर टाइम आपको, जैसे मैंने बताया कि लड़की पुलिस स्टेशन में जाके कंप्लेंट नहीं कर सकती है, अपने घर पे पेरेंट्स को कंप्लेंट करेगी तो पेरेंट्स की उल्टी डांट पड़ेगी, अरे तू अपनी जॉब बचा करके. तो इस तरह का सिचुएशन, एम्बेरेसिंग सिचुएशन नहीं होना चाहिए. सो गवर्नमेंट ने ये एक्ट में जो है, देयर इज अ प्रोविजन टू कंस्टिट्यूट इंटरनल कमिटी एंड employer or establishment or the factory having 10 and more than 10 employees. Please remember, especially the employer management side, having 10 and more than 10 employees. I did not say female employees. आपके पास कोई फीमेल नहीं है, सब मेल है. 10 या 10 से ज़्यादा है तो आपको ये कमिटी कंस्टिट्यूट करनी मैंडेटरी है. क्यों? As I told you, what is woman? Woman यानी विजिटिंग वुमन. कोई लड़की अगर इंटरव्यू के लिए आपके पास आती है तो अगर उसके साथ इस तरह का कोई इंसिडेंस होता है तो शी शुड बी एबल टू प्रोटेक्ट. उसको मालूम होना चाहिए ये कंपनी में इंटरनल कमिटी है, मुझे किसको कंप्लेंट करनी, उसको मालूम होना चाहिए. और अभी सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने एक जजमेंट पास किया, उसने बोला है कि इंटरनल कमिटी की जो मेंबर्स है उसके नाम, इंटरनल कमिटी के मेंबर जो है उसके नाम जो है वो आपको आपके वेबसाइट के ऊपर अपलोड करना जरूरी है, मैंडेटरी है. आई थिंक सो विच वी आर डूइंग इट एक्चुअली, राइट? So how this committee is to be constituted? Chairperson of the committee should be female employee of the company. Chairperson. ये कमिटी के ऊपर मैनेजमेंट की तरफ से कोई नहीं बैठ सकता है. Nobody from the board of director or director's wife can sit on this committee. The members of this committee must be selected amongst the employees. That is a primary condition for this internal committee. Second, the strength of this committee must be 50%. Female strength of this committee must be 50% and more than 50%. कम से कम 50% होना चाहिए. मिनिमम 4 मेंबर शुड बी देयर ऑन दिस कमिटी. आप ज़्यादा बढ़ा सकते हो. आपका अगर स्केल बढ़ गया कंपनी का, आज आपके पास 150 एम्प्लॉई है, कल 500 हो गए, और आपको लग रहा है कि नहीं चेन्नई में आपके 50 एम्प्लॉई है, तो मुंबई में जो अपनी कमिटी है JRK की, उधर के लिए काम नहीं कर सकती है. यू कैन कंस्टिट्यूट अ सेपरेट सब कमिटी और द ब्रांच ऑफ दिस कमिटी फॉर चेन्नई रीजन. सो you can expand the size of the committee whenever required and as and when required basically. So what are the primary conditions? Chairperson should be necessarily the senior most woman of the woman employee of the company. Nobody from company board owner side or his relative can sit on this committee. There should be one external member. एक बाहर का आदमी, थर्ड पर्सन होना जरूरी है. सब कंपनी के रहेंगे तो शायद क्या रहेगा, अगर कंप्लेंट किसी स्टार परफॉर्मर के अगेंस्ट है तो सब जन अपनी मिली भगत से बोलेंगे नहीं ये तो स्टार परफॉर्मर है, उसको तो आदत है, वो चलना चाहिए, ये लड़की ऐसी कुछ है करके, तो वो मैटर का हशप हो जाएगा. इसके लिए देयर शुड बी वन थर्ड पर्सन शुड बी देयर who should be independent. He is not interested in the employee nor interested in the employer also. Third person. तो आपके कमिटी ने ये किया हुआ है I'm not the employee of the company. I'm advocate basically. As an external member, your company JRK has appointed me as external member on your committee. So the name of this committee will be very soon displayed to all of you along with their contact details. So this is as far as the committee is concerned. What are the responsibilities of the internal committee members? So internal committee का जो ये पहला नाम था internal committee का internal complaint committee. तो हर एक को लगता था कि मेरा काम है खाली कंप्लेंट रिसीव करना, ऐसा कमिटी को लगता था. बट नो, 2013 में एक्ट एनेक्ट होने के बाद में 2014 में गवर्नमेंट ने इमीडिएटली डिसीजन लिया, दिस इज द ओनली रिसीविंग द कंप्लेंट एंड रिजॉल्विंग द कंप्लेंट इज नॉट द जॉब ऑफ इंटरनल कमिटी. दे गॉट मच मोर मेनी मोर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी एंड ड्यूटीज टू परफॉर्म. सो फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट ड्यूटी इज टू क्रिएट द अवेयरनेस. प्रिवेंशन और प्रोहिबिशन करो, रिड्रेसल तो बाद में आ जाएगा, लेकिन प्रिवेंशन और प्रोहिबिशन करो. उसके लिए क्या करना है? टू कंडक्ट द this type of awareness program to make your all employees aware of your do's and don'ts at workplace, including code of conduct, code of attire, किस तरह के कपड़े, प्रोवोकेटिव कपड़े वगैरह डाल के आना नहीं है या कभी आना है, वो सब उसके अंदर वो जो एक कल्चर बनाना, जो है ऑफिस कल्चर बनानी है उसके लिए. सो दीज आर द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी of internal committee as far as these functions and duties of internal committee members is concerned. Yes, no doubt, whenever incident take place, it is a primary responsibility and duty of internal committee to investigate the matter within the time bound program. ये आप ऐसा नहीं बोलोगे मैं 6 महीना लूंगा या मैं आ नहीं सकता हूँ, वो जो जिसने ये प्रॉब्लम किया है वो यहाँ आ रहा, वो इंक्वायरी के लिए नहीं आ रहा है, समन्स के लिए नहीं. The responsibility is fixed on the internal committee, chairperson of the internal committee, to complete the investigation. Moment the complaint comes, within 90 days this investigation must be completed. अगर 90 days से अगर ऊपर टाइम लगता है, ज़्यादा टाइम लगता है, तो internal committee has to give the reasoning why they are taking so much time. जरूरत पड़ती है तो पुलिस स्टेशन में भी जा सकते हैं, गवर्नमेंट को कंप्लेंट भी कर सकते हैं कि ये रिस्पोंडेंट जो है जिसने प्रॉब्लम किया हुआ है वो कोऑपरेट नहीं कर रहा है, तो गवर्नमेंट विल टेक अप्रोप्रिएट एक्शन अगेंस्ट देम. बट कभी भी ये इस तरह का इंसिडेंस होता है तो आपको क्या करना है एज ए एग्रीड वुमन, क्या करना है? तो राइटिंग में कंप्लेंट देना जरूरी है. इंटरनल कमिटी को स्टैंडिंग इंस्ट्रक्शंस है, नो ओरल कंप्लेंट शुड बी एंटरटेन, नो ओरल कंप्लेंट शुड बी एंटरटेन. ईमेल के ऊपर आती है तो ठीक है, लेकिन एज फार एज पॉसिबल ये कंप्लेंट जो है राइटिंग में देनी चाहिए. अगर कोई हाउसकीपिंग की लड़की है जो साफ सफाई करने आती है, शी इज इलिटरेट है, शी इज नॉट एबल टू राइट, देन इट इज अ ड्यूटी ऑफ इंटरनल कमिटी मेंबर्स, chairperson of the committee, to assist such lady with whom such incidents has happened to write the complaint in the presence of witnesses. Witness लेके, क्योंकि उसने खुद ने लिखा नहीं है वो कंप्लेंट, तो किसी को विटनेस को लेके साथ में वो कंप्लेंट उसको पेपर के ऊपर जॉट डाउन कर सकते हैं. बट रिसीविंग द कंप्लेंट इन राइटिंग इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, वाइटली इंपॉर्टेंट, राइट. देन जस्ट टू समराइज, विद इन 90 डेज इसका इन्वेस्टिगेशन कंप्लीट होना जरूरी है. इंटरनल कमेटी के पास पावर्स है कि समझो कोई अगर लड़की जिसके साथ इंसिडेंस हुआ है वो बोलती है कि नहीं, आई डोंट वांट टू फेस ऑल दिस 90 डेज इन्वेस्टिगेशन, इंक्वायरी वगैरह मुझे आना नहीं है, आई ऑलरेडी बीन ट्रबल. एज फार एज पॉसिबल आप काम करो, लड़का भी नया है उसको रिप्रीमेंड कर दो, वार्निंग दे दो करके, आई विल बी ओके विद दैट. लेकिन अगर कोई लड़की इस तरह बोलती है तो उसके पास से राइटिंग में लेना जरूरी है कि व्हाट टाइप ऑफ सेटलमेंट शी वांट्स बेसिकली एंड व्हाई शी वांट द सेटलमेंट. तो राइटिंग में ले लो कि ये मुझे इस तरह का सेटलमेंट, आप वार्निंग वगैरह देगा तो ठीक है, आई डोंट वांट टू अंडरगो ऑल दिस प्रोसेस ऑफ इन्वेस्टिगेशन और अटेंडिंग इंक्वायरी एक्सेट्रा. तो दैट इज अलाउड एज फार एज इंटरनल कमिटी इज कंसर्न एंड द एग्रीड वुमन इज कंसर्न. There are certain privileges are given. इन्वेस्टिगेशन प्रोसेस में एग्रीड वुमन अगर बोलती है, अगर एक्सटेंट ऑफ हैरेसमेंट बहुत ही सीरियस है तो शी कैन आस्क फॉर द लीव, पेड लीव मांग सकती है, 90 डेज की पेड लीव मांग सकती है इन एडिशन टू द एनुअल लीव. वो बोल सकती है मुझे डिपार्टमेंट में काम नहीं करना है, ये बॉस के अंडर काम नहीं करना है. शी हैज गॉट फुल राइट टू डू दैट, राइट. सो ये जो टाइम टेबल दिया हुआ है, वंस द इन्वेस्टिगेशन द कंप्लेंट रिसीव्स, ये टाइम में उसको कंप्लीट करना जरूरी है. विद इन 90 डेज दिस नीड्स टू बी कंप्लीटेड. और ये जो है अभी मैंने डिस्कस किया कि अगर इंक्वायरी आते तो इन्वेस्टिगेशन का जो फ्लो चार्ट है कि अभी बहुत सारा इंक्वायरी में क्या होता है कि कुछ प्रूव नहीं होता है, फॉल्स कंप्लेंट भी आते हैं. ऐसे नहीं है कि हर कंप्लेंट अगर जेन्युइन है. देयर आर मेनी कंप्लेंट्स व्हिच कम्स टू अस एंड दिस कंप्लेंट्स आर लाइंग बिफोर द कोर्ट कि रियली बॉस ने प्रमोशन दिया नहीं तो सेक्रेटरी ने केस डाल दिया हैरेसमेंट का, एंड दैट मैटर इज पेंडिंग इन द हाई कोर्ट. So my request to all my female colleagues who are present over here, female associates who are present over here, or even your friends. Please, this is a powerful instrument or the powerful weapon given by the government in your hand to address and redress such type of harassment cases. However, please use it whenever required. Don't misuse these powers, because in case of if you misuse it, it is not the person that will get spoiled or not the career of that person will get spoiled. It is his family who will get spoiled. क्योंकि ये मैटर घर तक भी जा सकता है. अगर झूठी कंप्लेंट रहेगी तो कुछ भी हो सकता है. तो रियली अगर कुछ जेन्युइन इशू है तो प्लीज एड्रेस योर कंप्लेंट टू द HR डिपार्टमेंट और द इंटरनल कमिटी. यूज दिस इंस्ट्रूमेंट और द एक्ट एज अ वेपन फॉर redressing your case, provided it is a genuine. Please do not misuse it. This will be my friendly advice to all of you. इसके लिए इसके अंदर प्रोविजन है फॉल्स एक्यूजेशन की. अगर किसी ने गलत कंप्लेंट की तो क्या हो सकता है. तो गलत कंप्लेंट में भी दैट एम्प्लॉय कैन बी टर्मिनेटेड. उसके पास से कॉम्पेंसेशन भी क्लेम किया जा सकता है फॉर डैमेजिंग द ट्राइंग टू डैमेज द नेम ऑफ द पर्सन एक्सेट्रा. एक टीजर देता हूं मैं आपको. I thought it was a part of process. Names mentioned here, this is a disclaimer clause I have to mention. Names mentioned here are fictitious. Any resemblance in the name may be coincidence and not included to any hurt anybody, nor it is attempt to cause any damage to anyone. मैंने 4-5 टीजर बनाए हुए हैं, बट मैं अभी खाली एक ही टीजर ले लूंगा. रीमा, आई एम सॉरी अगेन आई एम रिपीटिंग दैट, इधर जो नाम लिए मैं ले रहा हूँ वो फिक्टिशियस नेम है. कोई रिजेम्बलेंस आगा तो मुझे कृपया माफ कर देना. मेरे ऊपर कोई हरेसमेंट की केस नहीं डालना आप. रीमा अटेंड्स एन इंटरव्यू विद XYZ कंपनी. One of the panel members asked her if she can be reached on the phone number given in her resume. She confirms the same. Soon after, she receives an invitation to a coffee shop from the same person. Assuming it to be a continuation of their selection process, she accepts. However, very little of the work was discussed. The calls continue on some pretext or the other. Rima decides to inform XYZ. Which one of the following is the most appropriate? Select the correct option and click submit. मैंने आपको बताया what is sexual harassment. मैं आपको क्वेश्चन सिचुएशन बता दिया. मैंने एक क्वेश्चन आपके सामने डाल रहा हूँ. The organization has no responsibility as Rima is not an employee of XYZ company. Whether it is true or wrong, the organization must immediately take the complaint for investigation. Third is suggest that Rima place a police complaint. Fourth, ask Rima to let it pass and she should not ruin her chances at getting the job by raising a complaint. Who wants to answer this question? Yes? I'll remember. Anybody from girl side, woman side? Please participate in the discussion. Record के ऊपर nothing is going to go on the record basically. It's just a teaser question. Yes sir, yes please. Second one, organization must immediately take the complaint for investigation. Why you so she's not an employee of the company, but why organization should initiate the process?
सर आपने बताया कि अगर कोई व्हीकल्स में आती है लेडीज और अगर उसके साथ कुछ होता है हरासमेंट तो कंप्लेंट करने के लिए एलिजिबल.
Absolutely, I give the big hand basically. She has given yes. So friends, so thank you very much with this, and then again we will see in the postal section for the HR policy, and I hope you all will gather like this again. And